Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Key Time Sports. It's Key Time. Come back to talk about the NBA Emirates Cup and the NBA early season reaction. A quarter of the NBA season is over, and I am going to give you my outlooks on every team that I see that is going to make the playoffs right now. Now, first off, from what we see the Cleveland Cavaliers are nip and tuck with the Boston Celtics. Now, credit the Cleveland Cavaliers had a 12-game winning streak to start the season. Now, they are pretty much teetering in the last 10 games. They are 7-3. Now, with the Boston Celtics, we know the Boston Celtics are going to be in the thick of things come April, May, and June. But as of right now, they are they are mending some injuries, going through some injuries. I hear Kristaps Porzingis, he may come back and play a little bit more than usual, but you don't want to bring a guy back too early and he is just coming off of an injury. So Cleveland, they've done well up until this point. Boston, like I said, I've already penciled them in for the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals. Now, when it comes to the Boston Celtics, best case scenario, NBA champions again. Worst case scenario, they lose in the NBA Finals. Cleveland Cavaliers' best scenario is make it to the Eastern Conference. Best case scenario is win Eastern Conference. I don't have them winning the NBA Finals because one thing, when we look at their roster, and I'm going to show we look at their roster, they have average players on their roster. The only guy that can really take over a game is number 45, Donovan Mitchell himself. Now, like I said, Jared Allen, he could take over some games, Evan Mobley, but not to the degree of Donovan Mitchell. So when we see what the Celtics and Cavaliers are, I wouldn't be surprised if both of these teams are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, as far as the New York Knicks, we already know that Tom Thibodeau, he doesn't value his bench in the regular season. That's why most of the players on his bench be tired at the start of the playoffs. Orlando Magic, they are a young up and coming team. They are a force to be reckoned with. Over the last couple of years, I've seen them basically come from a team where they lose every game, and then now they are a team where they could stay pace with Cleveland, Boston, and New York, and even Miami. They can stay pace with teams like that. Then you have the Milwaukee Bucks, an average team at best. They led by the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Milwaukee, I don't see them getting too far. Last year, I said that they wouldn't make it to the excuse me, I said last year that they wouldn't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they didn't. Excuse me. This year, who knows? They might win in the second round, but I don't see them getting far. I don't see them beating a team like the Boston Celtics or the Cleveland Cavaliers. And for the other teams in the mix, the Atlanta Hawks, Indiana Pacers, Chicago Bulls, and Brooklyn Nets. Well, Brooklyn Nets, I got them not making the playoffs. Detroit Pistons, maybe. Chicago Bulls, maybe. Indiana Pacers, more than likely, they're going to make the playoffs, if not the play in tournament. So, and even the Atlanta Hawks. So, those are the teams that I have coming out of the East. And basically, with the play in tournament, I wouldn't be surprised in the Eastern Conference if the play in tournament are these four teams: Atlanta Hawks, Indiana Pacers, Chicago Bulls, and the Brooklyn Nets, but I see somewhere where there could be Detroit or Philadelphia in that 10th spot. Now, Philadelphia at the start at well, since the start of the season, they have been underperforming. They are 7-16 right now, currently outside of the outside looking in of the play-in tournament. Let's see what the Philadelphia 76ers can do as far as making some hay and getting into the play-in tournament conversation. So that's all I have for the Eastern Conference. And now I'm going to shift over to the Western Conference. Now, Oklahoma City, I got them penciled in as the number one seed coming out of the West. Because when it comes to Oklahoma, I see them, they have a much deeper team than they have had over the past couple of years. Now, over the past couple of years, they have been gaining experience. Oklahoma City is the youngest team in the NBA. Their average age is 24. So average age on Oklahoma City is 24. But I can say that they have gained experience because over the last couple of years, 2 years ago, they were in the play-in tournament. Last year, had the number one seed and lost the playoff series to the Dallas Mavericks. Now, let's see what OKC can do their third year with this same group of players. Can they make it all the way to the NBA Finals? I would not be surprised. And one thing, can other teams like Memphis make a good run, make a final push to going to a championship? But Memphis, I don't see them making the NBA Finals. Houston, they are a better team than they were last year. Currently at the third spot. Dallas. Now, like I said, coming into the season, the Mavericks would not make the NBA Finals again. I see them I see them at that fourth spot, no better than the fourth spot. Denver. Denver is another team that's still in the thick of things. A couple years ago, they won the championship. Last year, had a subpar season, got knocked out by the Minnesota Timberwolves. I see them making the playoffs. And as far as their bench concerned, they need more bench production because they've been struggling. And also the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns, one thing I can say about them, if their starting lineup doesn't average, I'm gonna say 70 to about 80 points per game, they won't even win a playoff series because that's how it's been the last 2 years. You have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal have 75 points between the three of them. But where is the other scoring coming at when those other guys in the starting lineup are on the floor? They not getting shots like they usually do. And Phoenix is a team that is just all hype at the start of the season. All hype. I have Minnesota going further than the Phoenix Suns this year, and which leads to my next team, Minnesota Timberwolves, currently seventh in the play-in tournament. They are a team that could be easily in the top six by the end of the season, and I think that they will be in the top six. Now, as far as Golden State and both LA teams, Clippers and Lakers, I think that they both stay in the play-in tournament conversation for the rest of the season. But you have two teams that are on the outside looking in right now. And these two teams, I said at the start of the season, you have to watch out for. It's the San Antonio Spurs and the Sacramento Kings. A couple of years ago, the Sacramento Kings took the Golden State Warriors to a game 7, and they could have easily won that series over Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, or that Warriors team. San Antonio, for the last couple of years, they have been shuffling young players in and out. Now they have Victor Wembanyama, Chris Paul. He's a dominant point guard. And now they have a team that can make some noise and make a push in the tournament. And I see the San Antonio March and April. So all the other teams, Portland Trailblazers, Utah Jazz, and the New Orleans Pelicans, I have them as a dumpster fire, bottom of the barrel team. All those three will be the bottom of the barrel. Also, the Washington Wizards, another bottom of the barrel team. Charlotte Hornets, bottom of the barrel. Toronto Raptors, bottom of the barrel. So now, when we look at this, there's 12 teams in both conferences that have a chance at making the playoffs. Now, which ones are going to make it? We don't know. That's why we have the rest of the season to find out who is going to make the NBA playoffs. Now, these 12 teams, I'm going to name them that have a chance at making the playoffs in the Western Conference. Oklahoma City, Memphis Grizzlies, Houston Rockets, Dallas Mavericks, Denver Nuggets, Phoenix Suns, Minnesota Timberwolves, Golden State Warriors, LA Clippers, LA Lakers, San Antonio Spurs, and Sacramento Kings all have a chance at coming out of the West and making the playoffs. Now, the Western Conference, like I said, anybody can come out of the Western Conference. But in the Western Conference, a team that loses 3, maybe 4 games in a row, it will create a tremendous shift in the Western Conference standings. And for the Eastern Conference, I see it playing out like it is right now with the subtraction of maybe the Brooklyn Nets and the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls, they might be a team that plays in the play-in tournament, but I don't see them getting very far. And at the start of the season, I projected them as a bottom of the barrel team. Right now, they are treading water. They are 11 and 15. So let's see if they are able to go on a win streak, but I doubt it. Now, one thing that is much more realistic is the top 5 staying the same in the Eastern Conference. You will have, at the end of the season, you will have the Boston Celtics at the top of the East, Cleveland, then New York, then Orlando, Miami Heat, Milwaukee Bucks, maybe 5th or 6th. Atlanta Hawks, they might sneak into that top 6. At Indiana, I believe it's a guarantee that they are going to be one of the top 6 teams in the Eastern Conference come NBA playoff time. So now we all know what the records are with these teams. Half of the season is over with. Now let's get to the play-in tournament. Now the play-in tournament, no, excuse me, not play-in tournament, but the NBA Emirates Cup. Now, we've had a lot of exciting matchups that have happened. Milwaukee Bucks and the Oklahoma City Thunder will be playing in the NBA Emirates Cup Championship tomorrow night. I think one thing that is beneficial to the OKC Thunder is a kind of a early season championship like this, because the team, it seems like overnight that they have gained experience. Because the last couple of years, even before the last couple of years, the OKC Thunder, they have been building to become a championship team. The last couple of years, they've been a playoff contending team. Now let's see them try and make the final push towards making it to the NBA Finals. Now, This game, I see SGA. I see SGA for OKC having a good game. I see Giannis Antetokounmpo having a good game. But one thing I have to give the edge to the OKC Thunder because OKC has the better bench than the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Milwaukee Bucks, it seems ever since they got Doc Rivers, they've just been treading water, not improving as much, but they've just been treading water, just up and down all season. Now, when it comes to as far as the Milwaukee Bucks, I don't have them going much further than the second round. OKC, when they went OKC, they win the NBA Emirates Cup. Now it's back down to business for everybody. Who can make hay and go on a winning streak and get to the NBA playoffs? So that's all I see when it comes to the NBA Emirates Cup. OKC, it is theirs to take. And then after that, we will come back just before the All-Star break and we will see where everybody lines up, when it comes to NBA playoff contending teams, because right now we have to separate the contenders from the pretenders and see. I think that some of these teams that are I believe most of them are pretenders. I believe Chicago Bulls are a pretender. The Brooklyn Nets are a pretender, but basically those are bottom of the barrel teams. Now, everybody else who is a shoo-in for the playoffs, I've already named. So what we are gonna have to do, we are just gonna have to sit back and watch and let's see what happened. The NBA Emirates Cup is tomorrow. Chicago, the Milwaukee Bucks and the OKC Thunder will play, and the NBA season is really just starting. The NBA season really doesn't pick up until after the All-Star break. So with that, those are my reactions to the first 25 games of the season for all teams. The first quarter of the season is done. Those are my reactions and my outlook for the NBA Emirates Cup. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell to get notified of all of my reaction videos, shows, and other content. Please like, follow, and share Key City Sports on TikTok. And remember one last thing, the key is always on time.